In today's lecture, we are going to study basics of satellite communication, and mainly we will discuss various orbits for satellites. So, starting with our satellite communication lecture, the first and most important thing is that where does the word satellite came from? In earlier geography lecture, we have studied about satellite. Basically, satellite in our earlier school days lectures, we have studied it is of two type: a natural satellite and an artificial satellite. Here we are talking about artificial satellites. Satellite means anything that is hovering around another thing. The thing which is being hovered, or the thing which is being followed by the another thing, is called master, and the thing which is following its master is called satellite. So, as we know, a moon is a natural satellite for our Earth. So then we have introduced satellites so that we can fulfill our some requirements. This is a basic components diagram for basic components of satellites. Here we can see this is a command antenna. Command antenna means the instructions from the ground station or earth stations are received by this command antenna. Then there is a communication antenna. This is a communication antenna. This communication antenna, the purpose of this communication antenna is that it provides footprint on the earth stations, receiving and giving signal for earth stations operations. Then in satellite we have this two wing type of structure. These are the solar panels having solar cells, which is a main source of energy for various functions of the circuits in this satellite. Then we have a batteries. These batteries are charged with these solar cells. And we have a radio transmitter and receivers inside this round structure. This is a backup signal transmission, radio transmitter and receiver. Then we have a rocket type of arrangement in the lower part of this satellite to provide additional thrust, to change its orbit, or for other purposes. There is a rocket fuel, there is a rocket motor, and there is a rocket thruster, and below the structure there is a camera which take images depending on various kind of satellites, which depends on which type of satellite we are using. So the lower part is dealing with our rocket structure, and upper part is dealing with your various type of electronic component having comprising of main part of the satellites. Then we know that the earth station send information with a very high frequency, and the area of the coverage, the area which is covers on the earth, the area which is being covered by the satellite is called footprint. And the process by which we send signal to the satellite through earth station is called uplink. This process is called uplinking of satellite, and the process which we receive signal from the satellite is called downlinking. So uplinking and downlinking are the process of sending and receiving signal in satellite communication. Now let us come to orbits. We are very much familiar with the geo orbit, the first one, geo orbit. Actually, it is a geostationary Earth orbit, and it is nearly 36,000 kilometers from Earth. So the orbit which is being shown with a red line, this one, this is a geostationary orbit. Why it is called geostationary, this will be discussed later. The next slide. Now there is a medium Earth orbit, that is its range from the Earth is its range, or we can say the distance from the Earth is nearly 6,000 to 20,000 kilometers. Then there is a low Earth orbit, that is 500 to 1500 kilometers. Then we have a highly elliptical Earth orbit shown with this green line. This is highly elliptical Earth orbit. So the various orbit of these satellites are for various applications. For example, geostationary satellite, the first orbit of 36,000 kilometers, in this orbit, the satellite is remain stationary with the Earth. Means if a satellite is above Delhi, it will remain above Delhi for the whole day, or can say for the whole month, for the whole year, because it rotates with the Earth. While the other MEO, LEO, and HEO, these satellites change its position with respect to Earth. Now come to geostationary satellites. So as we know that geostationary satellites rotate with the same speed as that of Earth, it remains stationary with the Earth. And because of the long distance from the Earth, it gives a very large coverage area, almost a fourth of the Earth's surface. But this distance also causes it to have a both comparatively weak signal and a time delay in the signal, which is bad for our communication. And in spite of this, it is a very costly affair to launch a satellite in 36,000 kilometer orbit. So what is the use of geostationary satellites? If it remains stationary with the Earth, the use is weather. It is used for weather forecasting. It is used for mobile phones. It is used for radio communication or radio waves, and other popular uses in TV transmission, that is DTH services. So the requirement of a nation related with its communication and weather forecasting is fulfilled by geostationary satellites. Now come to medium Earth orbit. Medium Earth orbits have larger coverage area because it is nearer to the earth, and it will have a higher signal strength because it is being nearer to the earth. It has a longer time delay and weaker signal than LEO satellite, though it is a bad GEO, though it is not as bad as GEO satellite, means geostationary satellite. So for a medium requirements, for example, uh, it is used for weather communication as well as for prediction of various locations of our strategically military locations, etc. Then, in spite of geostationary satellites, all other satellites which are not in the orbit of 36,000 kilometers, they change its place with respect to rotation of the Earth. So we have an added advantage that our satellite can take images from the other places of the world, because due to there is change in rotation of speed between Earth and satellite. At if we talk about in India, satellite other than geostationary satellite will have exposure time of 15 to 20 minutes for some particular area of our country. Other 23 hours, this satellite will be in other locations of the world. So it is easier to get images for the other countries. So LEO, HEO, and MEO satellites are also used for spying, and they have a lower radius for the orbit, so it gives a very clear image of the places from where it passes. And here we can see various type of interferences during working of satellite. For example, say this is our satellite. The problem being faced by satellite is atmospheric drag. Atmospheric drag means the impulse of wind. That impulse of wind, or there is a very rare wind, but its slight impulse can disturb its position, which is being maintained by the rocket arrangement made in these satellites. Then solar flares. Solar flares means the flare coming from the sun also affect the functioning of the satellite. These are the challenges which satellite faces in the space, and most of the time solar flare damages the solar panels. Then the meteoroids can damage satellite. These are the challenges which we are facing satellite in our space. So the problem associated with the space is atmospheric drag, solar flare, meteoroids, and interior charging. Interior charging means there is a various kind of batteries that causes collection of charge at some surface of the satellite. That charge may cause spark over and may damage satellite. After that, from outer space, when we come to nearer to the Earth, the plasma bubbles and ionosphere current disturb the working of satellite. As we know, ionosphere is full of your ions, so it get accumulated or condensed over the satellite surface and may damage. Plasma bubble have the same effect on the satellite. So after these two problems in space and in ionosphere, now coming to the lower part of the Earth, the problem associated with the satellites are, which is hampering the signal strength, are rainfall. and clouds. Then radio wave disturbances, which is being transmitted back from the ionosphere. Signal scintillations from other satellites. Then radiation of the airlines, or we can say the signal being passed through the airlines also affect the working of satellites. Now, in this way, we can say the radio disturbances, the signal from the other satellites, passenger aircraft radiations, and water vapors and clouds disturb the satellite signal strength during uplink and downlink in the lower portion of your atmosphere. After that, on the Earth, there is also various kind of disturbances which hampers functioning of our satellite. These are earth currents. The return earth currents affects working of your satellite. Then there is a electricity grid disruption that also affect the functioning of our satellite. Then there is a large number of thousands of kilometers of telecommunication cables in our sea that causes radio interference, that causes signal interference. So these are the various kind of problem we are facing with the satellite operation. So in this lecture, we have studied various orbit of our satellites and the challenges which a satellite faces during its operation. Other frequency allocation chapter will be discussed in next lecture. It can be discussed in next lecture, and we will discuss other topics in coming lectures. Thank you so much.